Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jenny from the Chopping Block. And tonight, I couldn't be more excited to introduce to you this amazingly beautiful couple, AJ and Rafaela. Look at them. You know when a couple just looks good, like they're made for each other? That's part of the reason why I picked you guys.
Thank you. We're honored to be here. Thank you, Jen.
So happy for you to be here. And, looks aren't everything. So I do want to dive in to the remarkable story about how you met. And, I'm just looking on I met AJ through my New York Power team, and, he's a total badass and rock star, right? We got Pat, we got Jackie, we got Jenny, we got Monica, Veronica. And just to see this journey of the love of his life coming through a tragedy has just been wildly inspiring, like I said in the post. So AJ, if you could and Rafaela, if you could just tell me a little bit about how you guys came together in this journey.
Absolutely. Man, so I actually connected with Rafa about a year ago. I saw her on Instagram and we're going to the same gym, but we never actually met in person. I was very attracted to her and I was sliding up into DMs to see if she would go out or do something, but she didn't give me the time of day. When I was trying to get her on the phone, she was busy, and oftentimes, let's go somewhere, and she would kind of change the subject. So it's kind of frustrating. But I persisted, and I continued asking her out, and basically trying to get her into my world. So one thing I saw was she went to Brazil for Christmas to visit her family, and she actually lives in Queens, New York, not too far away from me in Long Island.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I was going to Brazil for Carnival. I planned this trip for a year. It was going to be the trip of my life, the biggest part in the world in Rio de Janeiro, and I was pumped for it. So let me ask my Brazilian friend. So finally, she gave me the time of day, and she hopped on a phone call, and we were talking, and she was telling me about Brazil, what to look out for, the dangers, and during Rio, it's a high crime rate. Don't walk around with your cell phone. There's a lot of issues. Be very, very careful. And I was like, well, thank you.
Angel.
Got some great tips from her. And then I ended up going to Carnival, and it was the time of my life. This is the end of February, right before COVID hit. So everyone's out partying, going crazy. And 3 days into my trip, I had a freak accident. I made a horrible decision. The entire crew, they wanted to go to a party at 8 a.m. in the morning, but I said, no, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out. I don't feel like going to a party and going crazy so early. That one decision changed my entire life.
For the better.
For the better.
Somehow.
Not officially. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. So essentially, I basically slipped on a wet staircase early in the morning, and that slip broke my leg. My quadricep tore off the bone, and it rolled up, and it was the most paralyzing, excruciating pain that I ever went through. I was screaming in agony, why me? Why is this happening to me? And I was rushing to the hospital in Brazil, and they said, you tore your quadricep. You need to get it reattached in the next 24 hours, or you can never walk again.
Oh, my God, AJ.
I freaked out. I was in pain. I was, in a high adrenaline situation. And the hospital there wasn't the nicest hospital. It was a public hospital. And there were a lot of people from Carnival. People got into fights. And oddly enough, two of my friends that went on the trip the night before, they got mugged and beat up. And they had sticks in their head.
My God.
Their cell phone got stolen. So they wanted to go home the next day. I tore my quadricep. It was just a mess of a trip. This is 3 days into the trip. So I got an emergency flight to go back to New York to go to the hospital for special surgery, best orthopedic place in the world. And all of a sudden I get a message from Rafa, and she's like, hey, how's your trip going? How do you like Carnival? And I said, you will not believe what happened.
Oh, my
And
God.
I did a voice memo on Instagram, and I explained everything to her. And I said, I'm having surgery in a few days. And she's like, oh, my God, you're having surgery. I feel terrible. This is my home country. I'm so sorry this trip went so bad for you. Your friends, they got mugged. They got beat up. And she said, you know what? I want to make it up for you. When you recover from surgery, I want to visit you, bring you some food, and keep you company. And I was like,
oh, what an angel.
I'm lonely, I'm hungry. Now she's actually going to come. She's giving me the time of day.
You didn't do it on purpose, did you?
Yes. I I would have broke my leg a year ago, you know? So that's essentially how we met. 3 days after my surgery, I was here in crutches, in my worst shape, haven't shaved, haven't showered. And I was just really down in the dumps, very depressed, hobbling along with this broken leg. You know, it's still not repaired, recovering. And we met for the first time. That was the first time after a year DMing each other, her running away, me chasing her. We met in person, and that's where the fireworks started.
Beautiful. So Rafaela.
Yes. March 7th.
Wow. Amazing. So Rafaela, what is going on with this boy at this point? He goes to your home country. He breaks his freaking leg.
Right. And funny enough was like my mom before he goes to Brazil was like, oh, my friend is going to Brazil. It's so fun. I wish I could go. And my mom was like, tell your friend to be careful with Carnival, blah, blah. Tell him. And I was like, oh my God, I got to call him and tell him to be careful because if something happens with him, I would feel so bad because my mom was telling me to do this. But just as a friend, I never thought to have anything with him. And when he broke his leg there and he was texting, I was like, I can't believe it that something happens there. I was feeling so bad. And then I just came for like 20 minutes to bring him food and just say hi, bye, you feeling okay? And then leave.
Yeah, and again, I was like, that 10 minutes? You know, I was expecting him to stay and give me more company. It was the best 10 minutes all week. You know, it was lovely spending time with her. And 3 days later, she came over again. And another 3 days later, she came over again. And the next thing we knew, like, okay, something's happening here.
Beautiful.
So one thing led to another. And now we're 10 months into the relationship.
So I have two questions.
Okay.
Question one is, what was well, first of all, it's going to be a food question because, I mean, it's Jenny from the chopping block. What did you bring him to eat?
Oh, yes. What did you bring me to eat?
Cheese bread is a Brazilian dish that we have in Brazil. It's like it's called pão de queijo.
It's the best thing in the
It's
world.
really, really good.
It's like cheese balls with bread covering and butter on top. It's kind of like the best way to describe it is like kind of like a garlic bread without the garlic, but tons of delicious warm cheese that just melts around.
Really good.
I need a recipe. Okay. And second question is, I love to know the first impressions of each other. So, you know, you said that you had, you know, the interaction. There was obviously an attraction, a caring for each other on both sides. So tell me what it was like. Because, you know, especially now with like the internet and dating online and all this stuff, you know, it's like, what is the actual, like when you actually meet in person, how was that for you?
Yeah, well, you know, I was creeping on her Instagram for a year and finally to meet her in person, I was quite shocked. She looked better in person than she did in her photos, although she's photogenic, but she looked amazing and I was extremely attracted to her. And there was just this amazing chemistry, this beautiful feeling of comfort and calm. Even though it was 10 minutes in that first interaction, I felt like I'd hung out with her before. I wasn't like, who's this awkward stranger in my house, you know? And one thing that we both have in common is, you know, we're into fitness and, you know, she competes in like fitness competitions. And I'm not going to, well, I'll say it, you know, it's a Brazilian butt, you know, it's like, looking at it, you know, it's just like, oh my God, I don't want to be like awkward, but it's like, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm 3 interviews in, and I know that the first impression for men is always, I don't know, it's that attraction.
That's where I always gravitate, you know. So once I saw that, I was like, man, we got to get together.
That's amazing. And how about you, love?
Well, AJ like loves to talk, and the conversation was really going, really like normal and fluid.
Aww.
And it was just like that amazing connection. I don't know how even to explain because after that we just talking every single day, and from there we just grew up in the relationship.
That's beautiful. So you love the way that he made you feel, like and the communication that you had was easy.
Yes.
It was everything
comfortable.
Yes.
But you didn't say anything about my butt.
I know. What about his butt?
What if I just braced you?
Take a look.
Well, it's trend.
So my question is now, like, so, you know, do you think that you guys would have came together without this event that happened, or you know, like they say, you know, life's always happening for us. Like, was that part of this union?
I don't think so, to be quite honest. You know, we were going back and forth for a year, and every time I would hint at, let's go out, let's do something, let's meet for lunch, you'd always throw me off because she was so focused on her career. She's an architect, she's very busy, and she's super consumed with her fitness. Sometimes she works out twice a day, she works out 7 days a week. So the gym takes priority over me, and so does her work. And it was the perfect timing of me breaking my leg, and me being in a very vulnerable position, her offering to help. COVID, everything was shut down. Gyms were shut down. We couldn't even go out to eat. It was just hanging out here at my house, or then I would go to her apartment. And, you know, within a month's time, we realized, wow, we're spending so much time together. And I said, instead of us going back and forth and you sleeping over, how about you move in? So then her moving in, you know, obviously it was a very immersive process that kind of led us to accelerate our relationship.
Amazing. Amazing. And oh my God, I lost my question because I'm so like into it. So, okay, so you met, you said that you probably wouldn't have come together the way you did. Oh, I wanted to ask you about how, you know, I want to dive into the career stuff because that's huge, especially in our community, like people that are so busy and so into, you know, building their brand or into their work. And I think that's why, if you like, what we've been noticing is that a lot of people in the self-development space or the business space sometimes don't always focus on their relationships, and that leads to a big part of the community being single.
True. Yeah. A lot of energy.
Yeah. So my question to you guys, and that's part of the reason why I'm doing these interviews, is just, you know, instead of just reading books, I mean, I have these are all relationship books, or, you know, asking other single people or coaches, I want to go to the source. So you guys are the source. And I want to ask you, like, you know, AJ, I know you're a total rock star just from what I've seen, you know, you do and what you are. And, you know, now you've met your match with Rafaela. How do you guys find the time to focus? And do you put the relationship first now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would say that beyond our fitness, our careers, anything in our life, our relationship is number one. And I learned from past relationships that didn't work out, and so she did as well, that we made mistakes in the past, and we're not going to make those mistakes in this relationship. So literally from the moment we were official, we said, let's have a weekly relationship meeting, right? Where once a week, I have a list of questions that I ask her, just questions that she asked me, and we get clear on a lot of stuff. Or if there's uncertainties or things that need to be expressed, we bring that up. She's an avid reader, and so am I. We're constantly reading different relationship books. Right now, she's reading Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus.
Good one.
And reading Mindful Relationships. And we're always having the conversation of how can we get closer, how can we communicate, and most importantly, like, how do we keep the flame going, you know? Because like anything, if we're not going to the gym, we're not eating healthy, we're not doing our cardio, we're going to lose our fitness very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. And from day one to this is 10 months in, we're still newbies. There's people who do 10, 20 years, but we've committed to work on this consistently and stay on top of it as it is like a part of our life.
Beautiful. So aside from that, you know, recipe for success, is there any other, maybe Rafaela, if there's one that you could think of, like from your book, or just the relationship that you have that is making it work? Because you said, you know, he said you were busy, and how has it changed now that you're in love?
Yeah, I think everything comes from decisions. So like before I was single, focused on my job, my career. COVID hits, I start working from home. We always have our time working, our time together, having lunch together, or doing our things, and always talking, like having good conversation. And like, I think the communication is the most important thing.
Yes. And
we also, I think something that helped us a lot was our vision board.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Within the first month of dating,
like
the
first month,
she said, let's create a relationship vision board. And I never did one before. I only did it for myself. She did it for herself. And it was interesting to both create our ideal 20, 30-year vision as a relationship, as a family, as a marriage, and just kind of like everything down to the kids and house and just every little intricate detail. And that was great because when we have our challenges, we have our disagreements, we always go back to that vision board and say, you know, this is our target. And why are we, you know, measuring in minor things when that beautiful vision is something we could create together?
It's in our room and in front of our bed, and we look at this every single day. So that's it.
I love that so much. You have no idea. That's amazing. And Rafaela, I saw you post something about, and I want to dive in deeper with you about like love being a decision, or is it a feeling?
Oh, totally. I feel that everything in our lives is a decision. If I see AJ as someone that I want to be with for the rest of my life, of course, no one is perfect, but we have little things here and there, but we see like in the future what we want, the target, and some things are minor things, doesn't matter. And as soon as you put your life, that's what I want, here we're gonna get. So nothing matters.
Yeah. Don't measure in minor things, you know, and like, listen, it's not always roses and butterflies, you know, like sometimes people have this vision that love is like, you like the Disney movies and all the love is magical, you know, but there's disagreements, there's like nitpicking stuff.
You got to learn how to fight, right?
Yeah.
My temper.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that temper, you look so sweet.
I've been
AJ, you better not bring out that temper in her. That's amazing.
Yeah. Not easy being with a passionate Brazilian.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at her as her highest self. She looks at me as my highest self, and we don't hold grudges. You know what I mean? We could have the craziest disagreement, and then 5 minutes later we say we're sorry, we make up, and we never go to bed angry.
Beautiful. And was there a time that something like really pissed you off, either of you, and like you know, like I always say, you got to learn how to fight. You know, like Tony and Sage, they talk about, you know, how they make it like kind of a joke. Like I used to like doing this where it's kind of a joke, but you're letting them know, like, you know, get it together.
Yeah.
Is there something you could say that like where you learned how to fight to realize, you know, it's not about us, it's about the issue that you could share with us that helps?
I can start because I'm usually calm. You know, I'm a very easygoing guy. I don't have a big temper. She has a temper, you know? So whenever I see her getting a temper, I try to make a joke, or I try to like, I guess, diffuse the situation. And I have 2 names for her. You know, she's calm, loving, sweet Rafa. And she's super sweet and kissing and lovey-dovey. And then she's mean Rafa, you know? So
Cold Rafa.
yes, cold Rafa. So if she's going into a story where she's getting, you know, upset about something, and then she's in her anger, and I'm just like, oh, you know, relax. Cold Rafa's here. Take a step back, breathe in. She becomes aware of it, you know? When she becomes aware, like, okay, I'm being angry, or I'm just really angry for this. And then look, what's the real issue? You know, because most of the time, it's not about the real issue. You know, let's just say, for example, I'm drinking almond milk at the top of the carton, you know? She gets pissed about that, and that could trigger her to go into cold Rafa. And I say, hey, I'm sorry, you know, I was the butler. No one told me I can't do that, you know? But then she realized, okay, I can be yelling at him at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you know?
Well, I think you just try to understand each other and never go, as he said, we go to the bed like sad with each other. I always try to talk and solve the problem.
Yes. And one thing that came up, because we made a mistake doing this, maybe a lot of couples do, where when we were having our initial disagreements, you know, it was butting heads. Like I said, it was COVID. We moved in with each other. All of a sudden,
a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff came to the surface, and we made a bit of a mistake of consulting our friends and family with our relationship issues. So I was telling my parents and my friends she was doing it with them, and then they were getting involved, and they were biased, of course, like, oh, Rafa's perfect. AJ, that guy's an asshole. You know? Oh, no. They create a story. My friends and family creates a story, and now obviously that made a huge mistake. And then once we realized that this is the worst thing we could do. We're like, well, listen, we're two adults. We're self-aware. We love each other. No one is inside this house, right? Yep. So if someone hears a story of what I do or what she does, they could look at it from a biased lens and you should break up with her. She's not good. You know, everyone has their 2 cents. So we made a decision that we're going to keep our problems in here. And instead of telling a friend, a single friend, you know, let's talk with a counselor or a therapist. You know, me being in the coaching realm, I have a lot of amazing relationship coaches and marriage coaches. And, you know, I say, hey, listen, I want to buy some of your time. We're dealing with this issue here. You're a professional. You're non-biased. Create this space for us to share this issue. And this way we solve it internally as opposed to getting random people involved.
1000%. Yeah.
I think after this happened, we made a decision that we're going to talk and have our own solutions. We became even more friends, best friends, like
closer.
Oh, this leads to my next question. Perfect. So honestly, I have 2 questions because one that came up was, do you recommend becoming friends with the person first? And, you know, this is like something that, like, you know, your grandma says or your mom says, like, be friends with him first because this way you know, like, who he is. But then how does the friend zone thing not play into that? Like, I'm still confused about that. Can you help me with that?
I guess you become friends with benefits first.
Oh, WB.
To be honest, was everything so quick, and then was friendship, relationship, all.
Yeah, because again,
you guys were friends for a year, essentially.
Yeah. To an extent. Yeah. Well, kind of. Yeah, I guess we're DMing each other and talking back and forth. But I do agree that the whole friend component is extremely important. You know, of course, she has her own personal friends. I have my own personal friends. But thankfully, we have so much in common that we do everything together. We wake up, go to the gym first thing in the morning. We have our meals together. We go shopping together. We're pretty much inseparable. And then we decided to start a real estate business together. So, you know, some couples could make it work where they're working with each other. They're with each other 24/7. Others need space from each other. You know, we've got friends who cannot work with each other. You know, they need to be in separate places, separate rooms. But thankfully, we get along so well, and we have so much in common that we could be close all the time, and it doesn't bother us.
That's amazing. I love that so much. And, you know, I wanted to ask too, like, do you recommend living together first before you're in a relationship? Because this came up yesterday. This is another reason why I'm in this space now, is because so many friends like come to me for advice, and we, you know, girls, you know, you and your girlfriends, what do you guys talk about? 80% of the time it's boys, right? I'm always like, all right, this is the last thing I'm going to say, but then I say like 3 more things, or vice versa.
No, there's an ancient parable. It says before you buy the cow, you must drink the milk.
Yeah, the almond milk, not out of the container.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think getting married and then living together, that's an old school concept. Anyone that could do that, God bless them. Maybe it's an arranged marriage, or, you know, it's, I don't know, but I think it's better, in my personal opinion, to live together and do a test trial run. You know, if the test trial run works good, because before she moved in, we would have a trial. Okay, we hung out for 24 hours. We didn't kill each other. Let's try 48 hours. And then I said, if we could do 72 hours and everything is fine, then you can move in. So these little tests, you know, then I signed up for the package.
That's amazing. It's beautiful. And then my next question is, they keep losing me because I'm so engrossed with our conversation. I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask that.
We're having fun too.
Yeah, this is awesome. My next question is, so I asked you friends first. Oh, okay. So I'm going to get back into the ambitious side and starting the business together, because I do see that common trend in this space as well. This is the question. Do you believe that having like proximity and like the similarities, because I know like you have a lot in common.
Yes.
My question is, you know, is that a big part of the attraction and what you believe makes it work? Is
Absolutely. I think core values are extremely important. You know, I was talking with Pat the other day, and she says opposites attract. So her and her husband are complete polar opposites, you know? And I do believe there is a place for opposites to attract. Some people complement each other. But in our case, we're super similar. We think the same, with the same core values, same spiritual beliefs, same foods, same likes, same dislikes. There's very few things where we disagree on. But I find it makes it easier. I think when you're thinking about marriage and having a family and you have the same values, then you don't butt heads when it comes to raising kids or, you know, making big life decisions. So I think you could have both. But in our case, we're kind of like twins, like twin flames.
Yay! That's amazing. Yeah, that was a question. I feel like, you know, I don't want to talk about previous relationships with you guys, but it seems like, I mean, you guys look good together. You share a lot of the same values. I'm serious. I mean, you guys you're adorable.
Thanks.
You know, it's just like, is that been like a better part of your union, is like having those things where you could actually hang out doing things that you actually both love?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we never really disagree on what to do, right? So we have a ritual that first thing in the morning, you know, we get up at 5 a.m., go to the gym. And this is something that is kind of like natural to us. And it's not like we butt heads, we fall asleep at the same time. We watch the same shows on Netflix. Well, I watch it, she always falls asleep, you know. So I can never watch a series with her because 5 minutes in she's zonked out. So it kind of sucks on that. But we do enjoy when she is awake and conscious. But we travel to the same type of places. We have the same goals, being that we started a real estate business. We're watching hours and hours of real estate investing and how to fix and flip properties. And we're geek out on it. And also, she's one of the most disciplined people that I know. And we kind of have like accountability contests. Are you going to do these things? I'm going to do this. And then if we kind of become lazy or wuss out, we call each other out on it. And it's fun. And it's like a great challenge that we have because let's say, for example, she's super disciplined and I'm lazy. I'm smoking cigarettes and I don't like to work.
You
know,
smoke cigarettes?
No.
Oh, I'm like, what?
What I'm telling you, hypothetically.
No offense to anybody that does. I just don't see you smoking.
Yeah, no. The point I'm saying is like.
As an example.
Yeah, as an example, like it wouldn't work. If she's eating healthy, I'm eating McDonald's, you know? If she doesn't smoke, I smoke. If she's ambitious, I'm lazy. I mean, those are very deep opposites, but there's no way that our relationship would work. But thankfully, we have so much in common. And even little things, she's influencing me because I was more of a night owl. But because of her, now I sleep the same time she does. We wake up at the same time. You know, it's like the super extreme healthy eating. That whole adage, you become the people you spend the most time with. Mm-hmm. And thankfully, because we have such similar core values and extremely positive habits, we're, in a sense, changing each other in a very positive way.
And always I feel that we're always trying to improve things.
Yes, how can we get better
and better all the time.
Yeah,
that's very apparent that you keep saying like you're making each other better people.
Yes, totally.
Yes, and like something as similar as like she doesn't drink at all. She's very just like, hey, I have a clean, natural mind, and before I was drinking here and there, but I said, you know what, she's so happy and she doesn't drink. I stopped drinking. It's like little things like this where because she's such a positive influence on me, like I just give up with these things like very easily, but let's say if I'm with someone who's drinking a bottle of vodka a day, then that's going to force me to drink more,
Got it. Definitely. That's amazing. And so tell me more about I want to dive into what you guys both do individually, but tell me about this real estate company and did that just come from COVID, or not that I want to say that, but it's so funny. Like a lot of the conversations I've been having are all intertwining together. So it's like, I have real estate agent friends that are like killing it right now because a lot of people are moving and they're moving to, out of cities. And can you tell me a little bit more about how that's going and what inspired that?
Yeah. So thankfully, we have our own businesses. So I have an online coaching company I'm running for 14 years now. She has an architecture and interior design company, So she was already doing her own thing. I was already doing my own thing. And then when I realized she was in a trained architect and into interior design, I became super fascinated because I've always wanted to start a real estate business. And the more so for me is I'm really good at marketing and finding properties and understanding the technology, because what we do is a term called wholesaling, where you're finding a property and quickly selling it, but also fixing and flipping, where you find people that are willing to sell a house that's distressed or broken. We fix it and then we sell it out or possibly rent it. So for me, I never had the skill set of being an architect, understanding contractors and construction, interior design. So she had that amazing gift. So it became like the perfect opportunity to start this business together where we would work as a team. I could help find, locate the properties. I've been doing sales my whole life. I could call people up, work out a deal. And then she knows from the moment she walks in, because being an architect and she's trained at home inspections, oh, this needs work, this is how much it's gonna be. And then we kind of complement each other. Mm-hmm. So I said, why not? Let's just start a business together, in a sense, combining our superpowers. And that's how it all started. We started it actually August of this year. And now that we have this crazy time, the pandemic, and people are selling like crazy, you know, at the end of the day, we're trying to help people out because there are people in situations where they can't pay their mortgage. They want to take a cash offer. We offer them cash. We help them out. They help us out. It's a win-win.
Absolutely. And there's the need. Yeah. That's
yes. Huge need. But I've always wanted to do it. She always wanted to do it, but it was obviously the skill sets that came together and created a great synergy.
And Rafaela, how's it been for you? I mean, this is part of your passion, right?
Yeah. And it's great to see that he's more and more interested on things that I do all the time, and learning really quick too, because this is something that he's good at, learn so quick and searches and do, like, it's really good. And I feel that he's supporting me on my dream, because I always want to do that. And he was like, why not? Why you don't do that? So let's do it.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Yes. Because I think sometimes that partnership ability, there's certain things that we really want to do, and it has the right partner comes along, and you motivate each other. Like 1 + 1 isn't just 2. 1 + 1 is 11. You know, it's like the combined synergy makes you both take crazy action together.
Absolutely. And I know you're on Long Island, but what area are you targeting right now with the business?
Well, surrounding Suffolk County areas. I live in Dix Hills, and it's like Huntington, Belmore, even deeper out east. But it's like a very large area in the Suffolk County region.
Beautiful. So is there any service that we could offer? Because, I mean, my network's huge on Long Island.
Great. This would be like a mini commercial.
Well, I'd like to highlight you both, but it just so happens that you're rock stars, so we might as well.
You,
somebody's watching that.
I appreciate the shout out. The simple offer, you know, if you are in a situation where you want to sell your house, you don't want to deal with a realtor, you want a quick, generous cash offer to sell, that's what we offer. That's one thing. The other thing is, if you are in a place where you don't know the value of your house and you want to get an idea of like where it is right now, and using our architectural and contracting skills to spruce it up and make it better, or have someone invest into it, that's another possibility. Because some people, let's say they live in a house and they've not updated their kitchen or their bathrooms or any other areas, and they want to bring on an investor to increase the value of their house and get everything fixed up, you know, stuff of that nature. But essentially, anything having to do with wanting to sell your house or improve your house, or even get an idea of how it's doing in the marketplace, you know, get an idea of like, if I were to sell this cash right now, here's where to go. If I dealt with a realtor, here's where to go. So just anything real estate involved, you know. And at the same time, if you are a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, a contractor, I mean, if you have to do anything, a title company, we would love to network with you as well.
Beautiful. All right. So I'm sure we got that in the midst of everything. And can we talk about your coaching and being a best-selling author? Can you tell me a little bit about that journey? And obviously I met you through self-development. I just want to hear a little bit more about what brought you into that space.
Yeah. So I started off
successfully.
I was a personal trainer, and I started back in the year 2000, you know, so it's about 20 years ago. Started off as a personal trainer, and thankfully that business took off really well. I was very overweight growing up. I was 60 pounds obese at my heaviest. And then in my early 20s, I lost all that weight, got in great shape, and I became passionate about fitness and helping people. So as I was personal training, I was really just working in a gym, trading hours for dollars. After a decade of doing that, I kind of got burnt out and I got tired of it. And then I decided, instead of helping people inside the gym, let me try an online fitness business. So around 2010, I started doing online coaching, and I was one of the pioneers to start doing that. And because it was a very, not that competitive at the time, I was doing quite well. I hired a mentor who was a guru in online marketing, and he taught me so much great things. So the online coaching business started taking off, and then I was being asked to speak at different events and personal training conferences, how to teach people how to do online coaching. And I was getting coaching clients, and people were like, can you teach me? Can you teach me? And I was like, a light bulb went off, like, wow, no one's teaching this stuff. Let me just share how I grew my business. And from there, it started my company, which is Online Super Coach. And I developed an entire course and coaching program and certification on helping people build an online coaching business. So I started that around 2012, 2013. It's been a phenomenal business, been taking off like crazy. Help over 900 people grow their online businesses. And I help people build their expert brand as well, becoming best-selling authors, starting podcasts, doing their own seminars and live events. And I was really honored because in doing this and being one of the pioneers, I was inducted into the Fitness Hall of Fame to bring online coaching to our community. So it's one of the greatest honors of my life and something I'm very proud of. And this is something that is a passion for me. And I host a lot of events here in my house. And you mentioned one of them off camera, where I have a best-selling book retreat where people come in, and in 2 days, we help them write a best-selling book, make them an author, do everything for them, edit the book, create the whole cover, art, title, and then by the time they go home, launch them as a #1 best-selling author. So it's really helping coaches and personal trainers.
Are you going to do that this year?
Well, not in 2020, but in 2021.
That's what I meant.
Yes. New Year, yes. Because my favorite thing to do is host events, and thankfully in this space, I've had upwards of 70, 80 people at our single events, and it's great. And now I got a partner because we had an event together in November, and the first time she helped me out, and she got to really go behind the scenes of everything. So it was a really good team.
Amazing. And Rafaela, can you tell me a little bit about your bodybuilding and the journey that you've had with that? Because that's definitely a part of your passion aside from the other business. I want to hear more about it.
Love it. I don't know even how to explain when sometimes he asks me, oh, how do you go to the gym twice a day? How do you do your cardio every day? I'm like, I don't know. It's just something that I love to do, and I feel there's something missing when I don't do it.
Yeah.
And I competed in 2018, I think. The wellness division, it's like a Brazilian kind of shape, like bikini.
It's kind of like a bikini, but with a bigger butt and legs.
Nice. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Help me, girl. I want to get this thing bigger.
Yeah, I tell her you should start like a whole butt coaching business. Yeah.
That I just do for passion, is because I love it, and I think sometimes maybe I should compete it again, but I still don't know. Focus on my other career thing, and I just keep doing because it's my passion, and I love to help people as well. So.
Yes, and she just doesn't even do it for the money. She just is a very given person. If any person wants fitness tips or goals or little hacks on getting around her butt, whatever the case is, feel free to DM her. Because she just loves helping. Even at the gym, I just see her talking to random people and just helping them out. She's just a very giving, open-hearted person.
Beautiful. It reminds me of the course I just took with Jay Shetty. It's like taking your passion, like what you would do for free, like you're super passionate about it. Doesn't matter if there's like whatever the money is, and then taking what you're really good at and combining the two. And what I'm learning with like brand and stuff, it's like people love to see both. Like sometimes that passion is just showing somebody who you are, and like it if somebody sees that you care so much about like your wellness and that's just so important to you, who wouldn't admire that, and it kind of brings in the other side of the business side, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it doesn't feel like work, right? You do what you love, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And okay, so this is Jenny from the Chopping Block, and I I remember we spoke about talking about food.
Oh yes, she's
and
or gourmet chef here.
I want to hear everything. So AJ, maybe what's your favorite recipe she makes? Healthy, non-healthy? I want to hear about it.
Well, I'll first start off with me. I'm a caveman cook, so I survive on boiled eggs and tuna fish and rolling up turkey with lettuce. So I had very low standards, and that was kind of like my norm because I never had any proper cooking experience. Just kind of went to the bachelor life, and most bachelors do the minimal effective cooking thing. And then thankfully when she moved in, my mind was blown because I was having real food. Every morning having an omelet and pancakes and actual chicken and rice and real food with a fork and a knife. I was like, holy cow, mind blown.
That's awesome.
And all of a sudden I became interested in her because she takes a lot of passion. She actually chops vegetables and goes to work, and it just uses amazing bowls and utensils that I've never seen before. And I'm so obsessed with her cooking. I literally, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm taking a photo of every single meal that I eat because I'm very grateful. I started from the bottom, and then I have
from the bottom now here.
well, I'm very humbled. Gourmet food is it's like a blessing. And I was always impressed. And I guess in Brazil, because she came here 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
From just, Instagram, it doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, Facebook, social media doesn't tell the whole story. I thought that, because I'm like, okay, AJ went to Brazil and now he's hurt. And now I thought that you flew here.
A lot of
him. Yeah. But 5 years, wow.
Yeah, she came here 5 years ago. And back in the home country, Brazil, they take cooking very seriously, So from a young age, her mom was teaching the fundamentals and the basics, and her sisters, they're all like little gourmet chefs, And I've not went hungry one night. It's always delicious food, and sometimes I do lick the plate. I'm not gonna lie, it's that good.
He's like, I'm hungry.
Yes.
That's amazing. And Rafaela, can you give me one recipe that maybe from home or just something that you've been cooking lately that you could just from your heart that you could just share? Maybe I could recreate and just put you guys, your recipes for success.
The first thing that I made for him was chicken stroganoff.
Oh my God.
It's really good. I love it.
Yes.
And
chicken stroganoff. It's one of the best Brazilian dishes. And
do you do mushrooms and stuff? Because we do beef.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
It's very different than beef stroganoff, but you can explain how it's made.
Yeah, it's chopped chicken breast, and I can put some corn and mushrooms, and it's like a creme de leite. I don't know how, we don't have this here in US. I mean, it's just on the Brazilian stores. I go there to pick it up. It's like a white cream made with milk, and so white cream and just seasoning.
Yes.
I can make it one day.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't live that far from you.
Hey.
Invite me over. No,
I'd love to have you as a dinner guest. I'm not going to cook, but I'll keep you company.
That's amazing. I love you guys. That's great. And I want to ask you, I've asked you a lot of questions, but I just want to ask, do you guys have anything that's on your heart, maybe that you've learned through this? I mean, I know you both obviously are lit up by each other, and you're growing together, you're building together. But is there anything else from your heart that you want to share to better inspire the audience? Because I find there is a need for this, just to show people success, in love. Is there anything you could add to that?
Yeah, I think the theme of this is having a beautiful, loving, open communication relationship. And I think that, sadly enough, this could be just in our life and what we're seeing in our perception. But a lot of friends and marriages and couples are kind of breaking up, having divorces. And of course, COVID has not been kind on relationships. It'll either make you or break you. We've seen from a global sense, not just relationships, but suicide and so much of the negative things that are happening. And as you can see, it's not going away anytime soon. Mm-hmm. So I think we're still newbies. We're only 10 months in our relationship. But the real advice is to really never give up. I think it's worth working for. And again, we didn't have it easy. We had a lot of challenges. At some point, we had disagreements, and it was like literally hanging on by a thread, but we never gave up. We hired counselors. We got advice. We're reading books. We're working on it like our life depends on it. And again, if we didn't have this discipline to have a weekly relationship meeting, to ask for help, it's okay to ask for help. Never worry alone. Whether you're praying, asking for guidance, or having someone non-biased kind of step in and look at the situation and give you guys both advice. I think there's a way of making it go, because if I got lazy, she got lazy, we stopped going on dates, we stopped having our meetings, we stopped reading and constantly asking the ultimate question, how can we improve this relationship? Then it's going to start fizzling out. Then we stop talking, stop having sex, we grow apart. And next thing you know, it's like, how's your relationship? Is it a 10 or a 10? No, it's a 5 out of 10. And slowly drift apart. And we don't want that to ever happen. So we're constantly working on keeping it a 10 out of 10.
Beautiful. And, I love, I'm obviously looking out for couples that just light up. You just see the light, in them. And I love to see you guys, you're newly, and just the way you came together and how you're building business together. I mean, it's just amazing. But I also,
that's another thing, Jennifer, like, we did not plan on this relationship. I was single for some time. She was single for some time as well. And when the new year started, 1 year ago around this time, I had a great conversation with my friend Karen. Shout out to Karen. And I was kind of saying to her, like, I would love a relationship. And I was kind of in a place of like having this vision of a true love. And she said, stop searching for love, but start focusing on self-love. Start loving yourself. And she challenged me for a 30-day self-love experiment. And I said, great, new year, new me. And I started that from the 1st of January. And basically, I read a great book. And I'm actually friends with the author, Kamal Robinson. Love yourself like your life depends on it. I recommend the book. I read the book 20 times. It's a short 40-page book, but it's like Bible of self-love. And one of the exercises is throughout the day, a little mantra to have, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I would say that over and over and over again. When I looked at a mirror, I looked into my eyes. I love myself. I was listening to love music and I was singing it to myself, not like this amazing dream relationship that I would have one day, but how can I love myself the way that the singer or the rapper is rapping about, And all of a sudden I felt complete and whole, and I wasn't searching. I didn't want a relationship. I didn't need anyone to complete me.
There was no lack.
There was no lack, right? Needing nothing attracts everything. And in that place of abundance, I met her, right? And she was in the same place of abundance, right? Because in the beginning, I wasn't searching, she wasn't searching, but she just came into my life and I at least expected it. And I remember in previous times when I was feeling really lonely, or the first person that gave me the time of day, I would jump into it very quickly, and those just fizzled out very quickly. So it's just another piece of advice. If you're single, focus on your self-love. Self-love will attract your ideal partner. Not that you need them, but it'll work better than searching and swiping and doing all the other stuff.
I think, that was the first foundational point, like in this, when I came into the space, was, if somebody said, what's the first step in finding your ideal partner? I would say that is absolutely the first step, is to know who you are, to love yourself, every part of you, to feel comfortable in your own skin and not come from that place of lack. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Scarcity or abundance, right? Every moment you have a certain frequency that you emanate into the world, and it's a choice you make. And there's no reason where anyone should feel like they're not enough, like they're, not complete, because that's the worst feeling. It's like the neediness, right? Needing nothing attracts everything, but neediness is very repulsive, right? If you're the type of person who is just, so attached to someone, and you're texting someone you went on a date with, how's your day going? Hey, I miss you. Do you miss me? Hey, when are we hanging out again? Hey, you didn't call me tonight. Yikes, block, delete, disappear. You ghost that person. No, thank you. I didn't sign up for this.
I'm with you. And Rafaela, can you share how you think, were you looking for AJ, or, I mean?
Of course you are. I'm the perfect guy.
Really helpful too. The first thing I think is believe that love exists, and like we never thought we couldn't have this relationship, because sometimes people were hinting like, oh, this is a honeymoon phase. No, this is what I believe. That's what I want to live in, not the honeymoon phase. We're gonna live this as long as we want. So just like don't like listen to people.
Yeah, so many limiting beliefs.
Yeah, just think.
Yeah. Or take other people's insecurities onto your relationship, because that's obviously something that maybe they struggle with.
Oh my God. When we first came public with our relationship, that was literally the comments. Oh, you guys are in the honeymoon phase. It's going to go stale very quickly. Oh, it's a honeymoon phase. 3 months from now, let's see if you make the same post. And it's now been 10 months from now, and we're closer than ever and more in love with ever. And I think it is a mindset, right? Because we refuse to feel that there's a honeymoon phase. We know couples that in their 60s and they're in a honeymoon phase.
And I'm going to be interviewing a lot more couples, and some have been together 20 plus years. And
Sweet.
you know, my last relationship, I still had butterflies after 8 years. So it's really, you know, it's possible.
Yeah.
And
Everything's about what you believe and what you want.
Yeah.
And I see you guys doing it. I mean, you're beautiful together.
Thank you. Like I said, we're newbies. You know, I look forward to hearing from the OGs, people that have 10, 20 years of amazing love. I mean, we're going to take notes on those.
Yay. All right, guys. Well, I just want to thank you so much. I don't think I left anything out.
I saw a response from my buddy Tyler Kelly. This is inspiring. Love the point he made about weekly relation meetings. Great implementation. I just want to give a shout out to Tyler. I think you should have him on here because he has a beautiful, amazing fairy tale relationship. And make a long story short, he's been with his girlfriend Bree, wife Bree. They got married, and they had the amazing experience of getting married on the Disney Channel. They won an amazing prize, a Disney fairy tale wedding, and I was in his wedding party and a groomsman, and it was the most incredible, mind-blowing wedding I've ever been to.
Tyler, I need you.
In Disney World, and they had a really, really incredible story as well of coming together.
Oh my God, I would love to have you on, Tyler. That sounds amazing. Thank you so much, AJ. That's beautiful. And we have a couple other people here. Hey, Anthony. I want to interview him and his wife too. They actually had a baby last year at Date with Destiny.
Whoa!
On relationship day.
Holy cow! Like literally, like baby came out on that day.
Well, they conceived the baby on relationship day.
Oh wow! Okay, cooler story.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, thank you, Tyler. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're interested, I'm going to definitely reach out to you. And then we have Carla. So great to see you live.
Good to see you.
Looking forward to meeting you in person. Beautiful.
Here.
All right.
Well, what does abrazos mean?
Hugs.
Oh, hugs.
I didn't know either.
I'm trying to learn Portuguese.
I didn't attempt it.
I'm going to Brazil to meet her family soon.
Beautiful. Amazing. All right, guys. Well, I just want to thank you so much, and definitely stay in touch. And if there's anything I could do to serve you, and if you're having anything going on, let me know.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you having us on. This has been the funnest hour all week. This is just so, and you're a great interviewer and you have great questions. And, we never get to talk about a relationship, so you create a very good platform for us to share with other people and learn from them as well. So thank you.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
To see from the other couples.
Yes, tuning into your series.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's going to be, I have a lot of people willing to come on. So I can't wait to learn, each week I get, I'm having 2 couples a week, and just, I get such great, advice and great insight. And
well, you're the best couples. I got to give it to you.
I know, honestly.
Intuitive gifts.
And Merry Christmas, guys.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much for coming on so close to the holiday. I really was just floored when I saw that you said yes. I was like, oh my God.
No, we're honored, and this is a beautiful moment for us. So thank you.
Welcome. All right. Many blessings. I love you guys and hope to see you soon.
Much love. Thank you guys for listening.
Bye, guys.
Jen.
Ciao.
Ciao.